Hello and welcome to the Trombone Tim Studios. I'm Tim Dupin, and today we're going to do some air basics, so some essential breathing exercises that will hopefully help you as you're preparing to warm up and you're getting ready to practice for the day. It's a very important thing to talk about air, especially as a wind musician, because that's really the basis of what we do, and making sure that you are ready for any of the challenges that come in any of your music and that you can actually have a great sound. All of these things happen because of the way we use our air, which is different than normal. So I'm going to talk about the two main ways that people talk, or that my teachers have spoken about air, and teachers and pedagogy that I've read about. And there's really two schools of thought. The first school of thought is is an older way of thinking about this very strong diaphragmatic breathing that essentially some people will call it belly breathing. So a lot of people will breathe in really deep and kind of flex their abdominal muscles and all these muscles down here, and that'll be where your support is when you're breathing. So if you just even try it on your own, what you'll notice is that your throat closes off. It's impossible for it not to. You are getting a lot of support, but you're getting a lot of tension here. And one thing that I've noticed over the years is this type of breathing, or this, essentially very tense support breathing, belly breathing, can cause some damage. Some people, you can actually rip muscles down here, and you can really get a lot of tension in your throat. But that being said, a lot of people have really found this as a way to breathe, and there are numerous examples of amazing musicians that breathe in this manner, and it works for them. So it's a different way of looking at it. Now, the newer and I would say the newer school of thought is about our relaxed full breathing, and I like to think about it as if I was a singer. So singers try to breathe in this relaxed way, and they think about, along with us as brass players, we should really think about where our lungs actually are. Okay, sometimes we're thinking about, okay, breathe to your leg or breathe to your knee. It doesn't really quite work because that's not where you're breathing. Your lungs are right here. Okay, so you really need to be thinking to there. Around your lungs, the muscles of respiration are called the intercostals. There's a lot of different muscle groups around here that help. And so essentially what you're doing when you breathe is you're allowing your lungs to expand while you're opening up your rib cage. So the rib cage opens up and allows the lungs to expand out. And that's how you fill up with air. And if you try to breathe that way, you can put your hands on your rib cage here, especially towards your back where your floating ribs are, and just breathe in deeply. You should feel very relaxed. You'll feel none of that tension that happens if you do the belly breathing. And you're going to have this big, full swath of air coming in. It's important to make sure when you breathe like this, making sure that you don't raise your shoulders at all. That can cause a lot of tension. And that shoulder tension is really one of the reasons why the belly breathing was so popular, because people really wanted to get everything low. And that's, there's some good qualities to that. But make sure when you're doing your rib cage expansion breathing, as I like to call it, that you're really getting a nice full relaxed breath, big full sound, and that you're not raising your shoulders up. So I'm going to show you one little exercise that I like to call breathing check. So before I play anything, I like to remember how I breathe. So it's a lot of times it's interesting to just go into it full on and practice and everything is good, but then you forget, oh yeah, I'm breathing wrong. So this is just a little check that I like to do every day. And all I do is I put on a metronome at 60. Okay, and all you're going to do, and you can do this easily at home after you watch this video, and every day hopefully. And you're just going to breathe in for 4 and then out for 4. Then in for 5, out for 5. in for 6, out for 6, in for 7, out for 7, in for 8, and out for 8. And so when you're doing this, you're going to want to try to make sure that you're keeping your hands and checking where your rib cage expansion is, checking for tension as you go. This is really a check on yourself, okay? This is like checking the air in your tires. You want to do it frequently, okay? So that you don't have all this tension. So I'm going to demonstrate just a few of these. I probably won't go through the whole list of sets, but you can definitely do this on your own. Like I said, metronome set to around 60, or you can do it a little bit more or a little bit less, whichever is most comfortable for you. So this is the air breathing check, in for 4, out for 4, and so on until 8. Ready? Good. So hopefully you could see some of the different checks that I was doing. I ended up doing the whole exercise because it is pretty short. And hopefully that'll help relieve with some of your tension and get you to check your air. There are a lot of other different devices actually out there. There the ping pong ball tube. There's a lot of different contraptions that have come about in the last 40 or 50 years almost. Another one that I actually like to use. This is called the breather. And a lot of work has been done for people with COPD recently to help improve their breathing, because this is something that people with that illness have a lot of problem with their breathing. So there are a lot of different devices out there that actually help strengthen your inspiration and respiration muscles and get you to breathe fully and deeply. And so this one, the breather, is really great too. It has different settings on it that kind of help with the different resistance levels for the inhalation and exhalation. So I'll just kind of demonstrate one of the things that this does is so it kind of provides some of the resistance that is common when you're actually playing. So I like to use that something like that as well a lot too. So that just kind of helps me get settled for my day. And remember, the best type of breathing exercises are to do a little cardiovascular activity. A little run every day, a little bit of time at the gym, any of that kind of stuff is going to help open you up and remind you that all of your systems of your body are connected. Okay, your muscular system to your respiratory system, to all these type of things, they are connected. So the more healthy you can be as a person, the more healthy your breathing is, and the better off your trombone playing is. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and happy practicing.